But Logan, I guess my question to you is, seeing what Jordan Travis did this year, what is his 2023 season? And then along those lines, looking ahead at the 2023 schedule, what do you think is the most important game, the most pivotal, sorry, game this coming season?
Jordan Travis getting to New York City is probably your I wouldn't say like his ceiling, but like I think he is mentally, along with his coaching staff, are wanting to get him there. And his program is, they're pushing out a lot of stats. They've been doing it all throughout the season because he doesn't get in a lot of the national attention, love as some of these other teams and their quarterbacks. It's just not the case right now. And Florida State is building that brand back up to do that, and they're putting themselves on national television left and right. And Jordan Travis is putting on shows. Do it against Oklahoma. You're going to throw for 400 yards for the first time in your career, but that's what needs to be the expectation for Jordan Travis this next season. And I want to give a major shout out to Tony Tokars in his first season practically coaching too on the college side. He's thrown into being the quarterback's coach at Florida State University. And what he was able to do statistically, I wish I had my thing open over here. I don't have it. It's on my phone. But the numbers difference from last year to this year, I'm sure everybody's seen it on their own, are remarkable. And, that goes to a lot of things of staying healthy too throughout this year. Something that Florida State had to work on down throughout this offseason, Jordan Travis too, on making sure that he would be sustainable and be able to go through every game throughout the season, which he ended up doing. That was a big time. That played a major part in what Florida State was able to find successfully on the field in 2022. So shout out to Tony Tokars. That was it's impressive to see that, and what we saw the strides from Tate Rodemaker. I know you're talking about next year's games, and I can't wait till we can jump into this last year. But the biggest game from this year to me was Florida State at Louisville. Jordan Travis goes down. You've got guys flying down, hurt. Jared Verse is hurt. Famon Loved. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's going down. And in previous years, Florida State's team used to just say, F it, we're done. I don't want anything to do with this. I'm ready to go back home. But that team stayed and competed. Tate Rodemaker had to respond after his interception. He goes in and leads Florida State down to have a game, win the game for the Seminoles, and Johnny Wilson steps up there too. That was the turning point. I have it's a strong opinion. That was the turning point for Florida State as a program overall that we've seen in a very long time, was Florida State at Louisville this year, in my opinion.
And I don't have nearly the credibility that Logan does, but all you have to do is go back to our post game from that game. We had Logan on it, and we both were just going, like, I was like, this is huge. Like,
yeah,
this team has laid down, not fought through adversity for the past 3 or 4 years. I didn't even think Louisville was that good of a team. That wasn't the point. Actually, they turned out to be a pretty damn decent team. Mm-hmm. And on the road, and with all that adversity, best players going down, and where Tate Rodemaker had never shown an ability to do anything in a meaningful game against a decent opponent, yeah, that was huge.
Logan, how fun was it to do post games when we won? Because I remember that ugly one we did in Miami, 2020. You were
a whole 180. Well, I was willing to get on with Mark at 12:30.
Yeah.
Mark's on YouTube till 4 a.m. doing his thing, so that was nothing for him. But I was popping on. I think I was getting pretty sick too. But I was like, I got to pop on for this one because it just showed how big that was for that team. I think it created a lot of confidence. A lot of players respected each other a lot more. I know we can go back to the LSU game. That was that's top 2. Top 3, probably top 2 with the block kick. That a lot of things changed there, and for Florida State, including recruiting. But just internally as a program, and I want to go back and watch that game and just see the fight that they had. Some of the guys that didn't play a lot come in and make plays. Veterans making plays. Just, it was something special. And Trey Benson also having a big second half for Florida State, and you're like, dang, okay, Trey Benson has it, huh? He does, and he making the haters look stupid. That was a crucial moment for Florida, and we might go back to it in a couple of years from now and say, wow, that really was it. I know it's a little early, but I think that was a crucial point for Mike Norvell, and it showed what Mike Norvell had been working on in that locker room for multiple years, and it had to be one of the ugliest things to work on. I'll be honest with you. Just hearing things we're here in Tallahassee, just getting the feel for what that locker room was 3 years ago for Mike Norvell to come in and do that. I think it just showed what Florida State was able to do on the culture side of things. And it started in that locker room, the second half, knowing what was going to come. And Tate Rodemaker putting out a really nice performance for Florida State to win that game.
Well, tune in next week when Logan recaps a Friday night game in September against an ACC Atlantic opponent.
Heck yeah!
There you go.
What's your favorite win, Jason? The block
From this past season?
Or I wouldn't say the favorite, but the one that you're like, wait, there could be 10 wins. Like, what would be like? This team has turned. This team has turned the point. It's turned the corner, I guess.
The block was fun. Beating New Orleans was fun for that one. The one that convinced me this team could do something was, and you're going to Miami.
I knew that was coming.
No.
They're awful.
They're
awful, Jason.
They're
awful.
Hear me out.
They're awful.
Hear me out.
We could have gone out there and scored. I hope you know that. Like, Rodemaker could have thrown you
Logan, please
a
don't
15 route quick slant for a touchdown against Miami.
Logan Manners.
I put a burst. I can get downfield.
Mark could go to deep route. Mark,
don't interrupt your elders. Anyway, the point I'm getting to. We have seen Florida State, though, in the past play down to the teams they played. We have lost 2007, for example, that we had no business losing to. So it's not so much that we beat Miami, but the fact that we went out and dominated them. And we talked about the way we should beat teams that are inferior to us gave me the confidence that this team could do something. I think that was one. I think the following week against Syracuse and beat Syracuse, holding them to 3 points the following week. Those two, I think, combined.
Two awful teams.
I'm sorry, Syracuse actually went to a bowl game, unlike Miami. But those two, I think, were the ones that gave me the most confidence that things had finally turned around. Because how many times did we look, for example, in the 2020 Carolina when they were ranked number 5 in the country, and then what did we do the following week? Laid an egg against a 1-win Louisville team.
North Carolina wasn't that great then, we learned.
I don't disagree with you. You guys, I said they weren't a true top 5 team. But the point I'm getting to is we have played down. We've played down to bad teams before. This was the first time where we beat teams the way we are supposed to. And that's what gave me the confidence that I think this team, I'm not willing to say we are going to compete for the college football playoff next season, but I definitely, there's a certain bowl game in Miami on December 28th in Miami Gardens, Florida, that is the home of the ACC champion that come June might have us traveling down to South Florida for a bowl game next season. Then Logan will somehow figure out a way to make an excuse that he won't get to.
Is that the playoffs down there?
No, the playoffs are down here in the 2024 season. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm willing to say we are a playoff team yet. The off season has started.
TCU did it.
And Georgia's going to beat them in the national title game. Let's just.
Well, of course they are. That's not making the playoff.